On this episode of Under the Radar, it's our second ever UTR Festival special. Hang on to your corn dog, cotton candy, and elephant ears, because we're going to tiptoe through the tulips in Holland, play a mighty Yook in Lansing, and celebrate asparagus in a little town with a big name. And if that's not enough, we'll even help you get your inner Elvis on in Ypsilanti. Get ready to explore the cool people, places, and festivals that make Michigan a great place to be.
Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, investing in people, places, and partnerships to help transform Michigan and the Michigan economy. In cities, towns, and neighborhoods, people are building better places to live and better communities.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
And by Biggby Coffee, celebrating 18 years as a Michigan company. Gift cards, mugs, and coffee by the pound available in store and online. Franchise info available at biggby.com.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. And the more I explore, the more I realize it's the place to be. I'm Tom Dalton, and this is Under the Radar Michigan.
Welcome to another patented UTR Festival special, where we take you to some of Michigan's craziest, wonderful, and most funnest festivals. Hold on to your cotton candy, corn dog, and elephant ears, because we're about to have some serious fun. Michigan really does have some of the best festivals you'll find in the entire US of A. Why? Because there's tons here to be proud of. You name it, and we've got a festival for it. Because let's face it, there's so much in Michigan to celebrate, we just can't help ourselves.
Now here's a festival that's totally flower-powered, and people come from all over the world to see it. But I didn't have to drive too far because, well, I live in Michigan. Bonus.
Every spring, thousands of people travel from near and far to Holland, Michigan for one of the most colorful festivals of them all, Tulip Time. People from the Netherlands settled this town, so this week-long festival features more than just these pretty perennials. You'll also experience more Dutch tradition, dancing, and celebrating than you can shake a wooden shoe at. The day we were there featured the Asparagus Parade. It's the main people's parade of the festival, and it's made up of thousands of locals dressed in authentic Dutch costumes. But don't forget tradition. First things first, the town crier has to call out to the mayor and city council to inspect the streets and see if they're clean enough for the parade.
What do we think? Are they clean or dirty? Dirty! Hey, the public comment period was 5 minutes ago. Get it. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, would you care to make a motion for us?
Mayor, straten zijn vies. We need to call out the citizens. Scrub them.
We have heard the motion from the Mayor Pro Tem that the streets are vies. They must be cleaned, and we are to call out the citizens of Holland to clean the streets today before the parade so our guests have Dutch clean streets. Spread the word, Mr. Town Crier.
Hey! 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 The mayor says the streets are dirty and they must be scrubbed. Spread the word, and now we will scrub the streets. Thank you!
Well, as tradition always seems to have it, the streets weren't quite clean enough. So before we commence to scrubbing, let's find out from a pro what makes Tulip Time so tremendously special.
So you are the official town crier.
I am the official town crier, not just a guy in a funny suit having a big mouth. Because in order to be an official town crier, you must be a member of the Town Crier Guild.
Well, there's an actual guild.
Yeah, oh yeah, you
Oh
better
my
believe
goodness.
it.
Are you from the Netherlands?
I was born and raised in the old country, and I still have 5 sisters and a brother living in the old country. You're talking to a genuine pioneer. Ah, you better believe it.
Yep. So what is the significance of the Tulip Festival?
Well, first of all, tulips in Dutch are like, you know...
Peanut butter and jelly?
That's what I meant, that's what I meant. But you're an American, so you think of those things.
Right.
So, and they started this already in 1929, so therefore, the tulips and the Dutch go together, and we've been celebrating this festival with tulips as the queen since 1929. So therefore, it's our 85th Tulip Time Festival.
How many people come into town for the festival?
They expect sometimes 200, 300,000 people that come, and most of them come in coaches. Most of them plan way ahead, and then they see the various festivals and the tulips. And you can go, like, I think 6 miles through the city of Holland, don't pay a dime, and see the tulip lanes. Yeah, it is awesome. It is awesome.
I didn't realize this really, truly is a Dutch community.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yook.
My people from the Netherlands, they walk around. Oh, Huizinga, De Vries, Vandenberg, Vanderbeek. Oh, man, they get tears in their eyes with all this Dutch that they see. Sadly to say, most people can't talk Dutch anymore.
Oh.
But I can, of course.
You can?
Oh ja.
Say something in Dutch.
Als ik dus iets in Nederlands zeg, dat betekent niks. Het is net of ik een tongen praat, begrijp je?
I heard bacon and eggs.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, hey, not bad for an American.
Did you really say bacon and eggs?
No, I didn't.
Oh, darn it.
But I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Then you're pulling my leg.
Yeah.
What do you love about living in Holland?
Well, first of all, America. I immigrated to America in 1957, and I'm a Dutch American or an American Dutch, and I've never been a day sorry, because I think most people don't even realize how good they've got it in America. It is an awesome country.
And in Michigan, we have it wonderful in Michigan.
Absolutely. I love living in Michigan. I've done quite a bit of traveling, and it's always nice to come home to Michigan.
Can you make me an honorary Dutchman?
It'll be an honor.
Oh, thank you.
I be hereby declared that you are an honorable Dutchman, and you are now a member of the proud group. And I call you Mr. Vander Tom.
That's Vander wonderful. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, I guess it was time for Vander Tom to Vander don some real Dutch attire and hit the streets. After all, there's a lot of scrubbing to be done, yeah?
I want a broom like hers. Want to have a broom race? Ready, go. You win. Sweep that puddle, hurry. You think you got the camera. Oh, water, thank you. Thank you. You got a beer in there?
No, we don't have no beer.
It really is a wonderful experience to see this entire community come out and recreate time-honored Dutch traditions. Heck, even the governor stopped by to do his part as the parade commenced. In one afternoon, we saw more beautiful flowers, more Dutch dancers, and more friendly and happy people than we'd ever seen before. Tulip Time is a colorful, cultural experience that will have you clicking the heels of your wooden shoes together and saying, "There's no place like Michigan. There's no place like Michigan."
You know, on Under the Radar, we usually bypass the ordinary and bring you the extraordinary. That's why we didn't go to regular Yook Day. We went to Mighty Yook Day. Thank you very much. It's the only song I know.
You heard right. Every year in May, tons of Yooksters from around the country converge on Lansing's Old Town to pluck, play, and celebrate this diminutive yet dynamic little instrument. This funky festival features live shows, workshops, open mic stages, children's activities, and even helps raise money for local school music programs. I tracked down main man Ben Hassinger to find out why this little festival, inspired by such a little instrument, has such a big following.
So how did this whole wonderfully crazy thing start?
Well, 4 years ago, Tony Coleman and Margaret Maher, who did the Mighty Yook documentary, came here for a showing of the Mighty Yook movie. And I thought, well, why don't we have a little music and stuff along with it? So we showed the movie across the street over at 1210 Turner, and we had some friends come out and play and had kind of an open mic at Sir Pizza, and we just had a wonderful time. And then everybody goes, well, that was so much fun, what are we doing next year? And I went, next year? What next year?
So this
we got to do this again.
And this is the 4th year?
This is the 4th year. So every year it's grown and grown. And last year it kind of went up another notch. We had James Hill, who's one of the probably top 5 ukulele players in the world, come. And that just kicked it into another gear. And we're just continuing the momentum from that.
Now, I've heard you say ukulele and ukulele. Which is proper? Which is
You've never heard me say ukulele.
Oh, it's ukulele?
In Hawaii, actually, they say ukulele.
Ukulele.
And that means, do you know what that means?
Small guitar? Honey, I put the guitar in the dryer.
Yeah, it means jumping flea.
Oh.
And why, do you ask, does it mean jumping flea? Because when the Portuguese first came over with the predecessor to the ukulele, their fingers moved so fast up and down the fretboard, they thought it was a flea jumping up and down on the strings. You know, it was so fast. So they said ukulele, which means jumping flea. The mainland way of pronouncing it is ukulele.
Right.
And I kind of split the difference because it sounds too pretentious if I say ukulele.
Well, a couple quick questions. What's the origin of this little guitar?
It actually comes from a couple different Portuguese instruments. And don't quote me on all these dates, but in the mid-1800s, a lot of Portuguese came to Hawaii to work. And they brought their musical instruments with them, and it just kind of morphed into the ukulele.
What do you think this festival does for the community?
Well, the ukulele itself is so special because it really brings people together. So what we've done is take that community spirit, and we've used this festival to raise money to bring more music to the community. We've raised money to start a program for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders up at Sheridan Road School here in Lansing. We're working with guitars and ukuleles in the classroom to teach Lansing school teachers how to play guitar and ukulele in their classrooms to bring more music to their kids. You just saw the PT Strummer Seniors group who kind of kick-started that with funds, and we just want to keep doing more and more.
Well, music is great for brain development. It's entertaining, it's fun, and these things are so wonderfully portable and easy to take anywhere.
There's no doubt. It's probably the most accessible instrument. Not only price-wise, you can get a decent ukulele for $50, and you can learn a few chords in just a few minutes, you know. I've taught people that have never played any instrument before 3 chords in like 15 minutes.
I know 4 chords, watch.
You do, let's see. Wow, I'm impressed. Sign this kid up.
That's the only thing I can play, though.
It's great.
Thanks.
Well, as luck would have it, we bumped into Tony Coleman, the crazy Canadian filmmaker who inspired it all.
So the documentary that you made started this crazy thing.
It did. You know what? We made this documentary about the ukulele, invested our own money, you know, mortgaged the house, all that kind of crazy stuff. But then when the film came out, it became a hit. And whatever town we would go to show it, people would bring their ukes, and you would get sometimes 500 people in the movie theater, all with their ukes wanting to play afterwards, right?
Because you're from Toronto.
That's right. Yes. So we made the film in Toronto. We premiered it in Toronto. But before we knew Up From Down, we had like a 30-city tour of Europe, and we toured all over the States, and it has been the best fun. I mean, it's incredible.
What made you get interested in the ukulele? What made you think to do a documentary on it?
Well, I inherited a ukulele from my sister. I was a rock and roller. I thought the ukulele was for nerds like everyone else. But once I started playing it, I found this kind of music, happy music, that I never experienced as a rock player, you know? So I had been working in Canada for the CBC, and I'd made a documentary about blue jeans, the history of blue jeans, which was kind of a neat story. And meantime, I'm getting into this ukulele, and I'm discovering this rich history in America. I mean, up until the Beatles, the ukulele was the instrument here. You did not pick up the guitar, you picked up the ukulele.
So you're not from Old Town here in Lansing. What do you think of the area?
We love it here. My wife and I have been down now for 4 Mighty Yook days, and it's great. The culture, the people here, you know, you've seen some of the performances. It's almost like therapy. Yeah. You know, getting up and performing in a Yook venue, you're guaranteed a standing ovation, you know? In fact, that's kind of the motto of the ukulele world. Everybody gets a standing ovation.
This really is a festival that celebrates Lansing's awesome Old Town and this portable little companion we all love.
So if you like to have fun and you like happy music, come to Mighty Yook Day next year. You'll dig it the most. In our never-ending quest to show you some of Michigan's most funnest festivals, we decided this time to show you one that's all about a vegetable. My wife says they're good for me. Go figure.
If you love asparagus, you'll love the northwest part of Michigan's mitten. The sandy soil and climate in these parts makes it the perfect place to grow this delectable vegetable. But if you love it so much, you want to kick up your heels and celebrate it, the annual Empire Asparagus Festival is exactly where you need to be. This tiny town has a big heart, a big personality, and is big on this crunchy green vegetable. Just as we pulled into town, the asparagus recipe contest was winding down, so I got in line as quick as I could to sample all the asparagus-laden entries. From asparagus soups and salads to salsas and soufflés, I tasted them all. This festival is compact, full of fun characters, and is all about the awesome flavor of this versatile vegetable. From asparagus beer and asparagus brats to deep-fried and even raw asparagus, this festival truly celebrates this little green stalk. Wait a minute. Did I say asparagus beer?
Well, apparently Right Brain Brewery makes an asparagus beer. Strange? I'll be the judge of that. That's really good.
One of the locals who truly personifies this festival is Paul Skinner. He owns Miser's Hoard, a great little old and new curiosity shop right downtown Empire. And when it comes to asparagus-inspired fun, Paul's the guy to hang with.
So, Paul,
Yeah.
How long has this festival been going on?
This is the 12th year.
12, and you've been a part of all 12?
Oh, yeah, I was a part of the original organizing group, and they all then decided to get married, have families, and leave town. And guess who was left holding the baby, being the Asparagus Festival, but moi.
That was you.
Yeah.
Because I noticed, just speaking of the vegetable,
Yeah.
I noticed that you don't sound like you're from around here originally.
No, I'm not. I'm British. I'm from East Yorkshire, and married the American, and that'll do it to you.
Now, for people who've never been to the Asparagus Festival, explain that it's, besides the asparagus, what else happens here?
Obviously, everything revolves around the asparagus. And Empire's a little bit quirky.
Really?
And this fits right in.
Well, it's a natural because it grows everywhere around here.
Yeah.
And the Liver and Onions Festival already exists, so
Yeah.
you couldn't do that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I noticed that in this whole festival, I don't see any porta potties. Is there a reason they're farther away than normal?
Well, I'd never thought of it that way. Yeah, they are slightly hidden. Yeah, I'd give you that. Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons, yeah. Yeah.
This festival even goes highbrow with a legitimate asparagus-inspired poetry contest. And far be it from me to deprive these poor folks of my immense literary talents.
This is The Asparagus I Love by Tom Dalden. Okay. Asparagus is a veggie that grows in our great state, and I always get excited when I see it on my plate. It's so good for me and a taste-tempting treat, and it helps to promote and feed so many people that I meet. If you're looking for a superfood and super people too, just come to Empire, because they really love to see you. So in closing, there's really just one thing I have left to say. At the end of the day, when it's time for bed, and I have to go to the bathroom, well, enough said. Thank you. Thank you. If anybody would like, for $20, I'll sign this and you can have it.
Of course, I didn't win, but my entry was a definite moderate success. I'll be honest, even if you don't like asparagus, this little action-packed festival will definitely fill your fun bucket.
So what brings you here today?
Well, actually, I live here part-time, and I come here every year, and I help out. This year, I didn't help out, so I'm working at the food.
Your punishment is to eat asparagus, right?
Yeah.
Now, tell me honestly, do you like asparagus?
I certainly do.
So is this your first asparagus festival?
It is, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let me see if you're worthy of being here. Can you
Okay.
spell asparagus? Go.
Asparagus.
She can stay.
There's a sign right there.
She can stay. Oh, you're reading the sign, cheater. A wave to the people out in TV land.
Cheers. Right brain.
Oh, this is PBS, hole. You have to hide that. Sorry. So do you actually love asparagus? I see you have some.
I do. I beelined as soon as the poetry contest was over.
And got that for me.
I
You are
beelined
so
it.
nice.
Well, go right ahead and
Thank you.
try some.
Could you do some interviews
Yeah,
for me because I'm
sure.
going to be busy?
Yeah, you're going, okay, bye.
You look really familiar, aren't you, Tim?
Yeah, I'm Tim from Arts.
From Arts Tavern.
Yeah, you're the under-the-radar guy, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I think so. At least last I checked. I'm not sure. But so what are you doing at the Asparagus Festival?
I'm deep frying it.
You deep frying the whole festival?
Well, if I could, I'd do that, but I'm just doing the asparagus.
Who's watching the tavern?
I don't know because my wife's here.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Come on, guys, let's go.
My favorite part of the festival is what has to be the tiniest parade on planet Earth. In fact, it's so small, the parade actually circles the block and goes through town twice. It may have been small, but it was way big on enthusiasm and town pride. If you're looking for a festival that's got a ton of energy, fun, and flavor, all wrapped up in a little stalk that will remind you later why you love it so much, check out the Asparagus Festival in Empire. And when you tell your friends you went, they'll be green with envy.
Hey everybody, I'm in Ypsilanti at the big Elf Festival, and as soon as I get some magic dust, I'm gonna go eat a whole bunch of candy with all my elf buddies. What the? Elf has left the building.
Elves, Elvis. You know, when you're me, sometimes life can be a little confusing. So I retired to my luxurious UTR talent trailer and in moments emerged in an outfit much more fitting to the occasion. Because this is Michigan's official Elvis Festival that happens at Riverside Park for 2 days every July in Ypsilanti's historic Depot Town. Thousands of Elvis lovers and people who love to be Elvis converge to shake, rattle, and roll out the red carpet for all things Elvis. There's music, food, fun, stuff for the kids to do, and some of the best Elvis performers you'll see anywhere. One of the extraordinary people who make this event such a huge rockin' success every year is Mary Decker.
Oh, hi, sorry.
You got it. You got
I know
it.
your name's Mary, but can I call you Baby Mama?
Oh, yes, you can.
How long has Elvis Festival been going on here in Ypsilanti?
This is our 15th year, since the year 2000 we started.
15
We
years.
were just real small. We just had a little bit on the streets and a little bit in the smaller part. And then we outgrew that, and they said, you can't be there no more, so we got to come over here.
Well, it's interesting. It's confusing because there are a few Elvises here, so I'm not sure which one I am. I think I'm the Aloha Elvis.
Well, you're the Aloha concert type Elvis, because that was the jumpsuits. All the jumpsuits were when he was doing concerts in Vegas and things like that.
Right, and the Karate
So you can be
Kings.
anywhere in there, yeah. I'm not sure. Everything's got a thing to it, yeah.
What's the most fun thing about doing this festival?
I think it's just an enjoyment of the people, because most of these guys do contests, and there's a lot of pressure and all that stuff. And this one, they just come and have fun, and these people just love it. I mean, they're like family almost. They come all the time.
Well, I was going to ask you where you get all the Elvi. That's plural for many Elvises. Yeah. Where do you find all these guys?
Well, a lot of them recommend other people that they know. And a lot of times, me and another Wanda, who's my entertainment chair, we go to some of their contests and we watch, and we kind of, yeah, he's okay, he's all right, And we don't always pick the winner. We pick the one we like, though.
Oh.
And sometimes it is the winner. We don't know, but and we give them a shot and see what happens,
Well, it's a great festival because you've got a great food area, you've got cardboard Elvises, you've got the concerts going on. It's just great family fun, and even if you're not into Elvis, it's just a fun thing to do.
I mean, even if you're not a real Elvis fan, you're going to enjoy this festival.
Okay, now last question for you. What's your favorite Elvis? The young Elvis, the portly Elvis, or the Aloha Elvis?
Well, it must be the Aloha Elvis, because that's what you are, right?
Thanks, baby mama.
This fun musical festival has everything you need to Elvis out. And there are more folks here who love the king than you can shake your hips at.
Return to sender, address unknown, no such number, no such zone.
We saw Elvis after Elvis after Elvis after Elvis, to the point where I totally lost control, jumped into the crowd, and shared my inner Elvis all over everybody. I moved like Elvis, danced like Elvis, took photos and selfies as Elvis, and even flirted with the ladies like Elvis. Heck, I did more shaking than should be allowed by law. But when all was said and done, I done did what I came to do, and that's celebrate the king. Well, that's right, baby mama. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you'll also be thanking me very much when you visit some of Michigan's awesome festivals, because you'll be dancing like the Dutch, picking like a pro, gobbling down the green, and shaking loose your spleen. Just make sure you read the brochure before you go. Oh!
Hey folks, you want to become part of the League of Extraordinary UTR Super Friends? It's super easy. Just go to utrmichigan.com. You can watch episodes, tell us where to go next, get information on all the places we've been, and even get UTR wearables like I'm sporting right here. Oh, and you can even get our new book, Under the Radar, the First 50, featuring our first 50 episodes and DVDs of all of our shows. So become a UTR Super Friend today. Go to utrmichigan.com. It's super cool and super easy.
Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, investing in people, places, and partnerships to help transform Michigan and the Michigan economy. In cities, towns, and neighborhoods, people are building better places to live and better communities.
It's human nature to plan ahead, but sometimes our best ideas come when there's no plan at all. When we just go with the flow and let the day unfold as it was meant to be. A day on the water, soaking up the sun. A day we leave up in the air. Yesterday, this was just a last-minute idea. Today, our big surprise. is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
And by Biggby Coffee, celebrating 18 years as a Michigan company. Gift cards, mugs, and coffee by the pound available in store and online. Franchise info available at biggby.com. The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure series raises funds and awareness in the breast cancer fight, celebrates survivorship, and honors those who have lost their battle. Everyone is welcome. Find a Komen Race for the Cure in more than 140 cities at Komen.org.